Welcome to another exciting edition of Device 42's Product Highlights for product release 18.13.00. In this release, Device 42 introduced a significant enhancement to classic reports, now known as standard reports. This expansion continues the integration of powerful tabular reporting functionality with the catalog of existing reports, Main Appliance object tables, and DoQL queries, Device 42's object query language. With this improved usability and functionality, you can now effortlessly create and share comprehensive reports with your team, leading to better decision-making and increased productivity. In this video, we will highlight how to create a guided standard report, how to create a standard report from an object table, and how to create a standard report using DoQL. So let's dive in.
The release 18.13 included a wide expansion of reporting within Device 42. The traditional classic reports have been rebranded as standard reports. In addition, there are new and improved ways to build these standard reports. The new standard reporting capability is within the Analytics menu. It is important to note that when going to the standard reports, you will be taken to a list of all the reports, all the standard reports in the system. You will notice this also includes classic reports. These classic reports will be denoted with an exclamation mark, signifying that these reports will continue to work and will run on any schedule. However, these reports will be non-editable and should, over time, be converted to the new standard reporting framework. There are 4 new ways to build a standard report. What I will be talking about in this video is the ability to use the guided report option. This is very similar to what we built using on-screen table display to create a report. To create a new standard report guided report, we can click the Add button and we're taken to the report creation screen. So I will select the guided report option. And for example, what if I wanted to build an operating system report to check on my operating system licenses? So maybe I'm interested in the Microsoft OS licenses. So let's name the report Microsoft OS usage. And really what I'm interested in doing is looking at the license count. So let's create a tab here for the license count tab. Now, since this was a guided report for operating system, it automatically populates with the default set of operating system columns and filters. So now notice that some of the default values for notes don't seem to be much use. So I can customize the layout of this report by saying I'm not interested in the notes column because it didn't have any interesting information. So I can remove the notes column. Now this was a Microsoft OS, so I'll be able to use something like the vendor for these OS to be Microsoft. Now I get a list of all Microsoft operating systems in my system. Now, in the same report, I may want the devices. So the nice thing about new standard reporting is that we can have multiple tabs in the same report. So I can actually add a tab, maybe name that tab devices, and utilize the same guided report functionality for operating systems in use. And this will populate the default set of columns and the default filters for operating systems in use. So I may be interested in the OS family of Windows, so that this tab will show me all those Windows devices or all those devices running the Windows OS. I can even realize that I have some not so interesting columns. I can maybe take away the OS, the service packs, the D42 editions, and to customize my view of that data. So when I get the columns with the data that I like for my report, I now have built a 2-tab report called Microsoft OS usage. I can now schedule this report. I can schedule this report to email every week, once a week, maybe every Monday. And so that my boss thinks I've been working all weekend, I can make it 7 a.m. So at 7 a.m. every Monday, my boss will receive in their inbox a report for Microsoft OS usage with two tabs, one detailing the license counts, the other detailing the devices that are using those license counts. So now I can save, and this report will be usable as part of these standard reports in the standard report list. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to an overview of the new reporting in 18.13 Device 42. The 18.13 release includes a wide expansion of reporting within Device 42. The classic reports have been rebranded as standard reports. In addition, there are new and improved ways to build these standard reports. The new standard reporting capability is within the Analytics menu. You can navigate by going to Analytics, Standard Reports. This will bring up a page of all your standard reports. In addition, classic reports will be denoted with an icon. This is to signify that these classic reports will continue to run and run on any set schedule. However, these reports should be converted over time to the new standard reporting framework. There are many ways to build a new standard report. What this video is going to go over is building a standard report from a screen list view. One of the most powerful and intuitive methods of building a standard report is to create a report directly from an on-screen menu. In previous releases, the tables for on-screen have been enhanced to provide much more filter and search capability. You can even create a view or a column list and save it so that when you go back, you can pull up a predefined set of columns. So I'm going to go to the All Devices tab, the All Devices table, and use the preset column list D42 device. This is going to bring me a table of all my devices with name, type, OS, virtual host, all those great fields that I want in my report. And perhaps I want to build a report and look at only the vendor OS vendor for VMware. So I can actually add a filter and look for only VMware OSs. Now this table is only showing VMware devices, the VMware OS devices in my network. And perhaps I also want to do the building. I want to add the calculated building. And I only want to look at maybe New Haven, Connecticut VMware OSs. So now I've created the table that shows only VMware OSs and those devices within the New Haven office. Now, one of the nice things is if I want to create a report from this table, I can go to the report button on the top right. Using this button, I can add this view, this table, to any existing standard report. So I actually have a list of standard reports that I can add this new table to. But I want to create a brand new standard report. So I click the green Add Tab button, and now I'm taken to the creation of a new standard report. So I'm going to actually call this standard report New Haven VMware Inventory. And you can see it has a tab, and it's previewing this tab with the same information that I saw on my previous table. Now, one of the nice things about standard reports is you can have multiple tabs. And in fact, you can even name this tab. So I'm going to name this tab Devices. If I wanted to create a new tab in my report, I could click the Add Tab button. So now I've actually created a brand new New Haven VMware Inventory report with a tab for devices and all these fields populated with data. Now, the nice thing about this being a standard report and just not on screen is that I can schedule this report to run and email out. So perhaps I want to email this out to my boss every week so that my boss gets a list a table with these New Haven VMware OSs. And I want to make this go to my boss every week, let's say on a Monday. And to make it look like I was working on this all weekend long, I'm going to make it send to my boss at 7 a.m. So I've been hard at work on this all Saturday and Sunday to produce this table of VMware within device 42. And then I can save, and you can see that this report is going to be sent every week, every Monday at 7 a.m. It's going to be sent to my boss at device 42, and it's going to have the calculated building New Haven, Connecticut, and the vendor name VMware. Now, these kind of standard reports are available on most table pages, especially table pages such as devices, assets, subnets, IP addresses, are all possible and will all have the standard report or the report button on the top right. I hope you can make use of the new standard reports within device 42 and enjoy building new standard reports and getting information out to new recipients. Thank you.
Hello. New in the 18.13 release of Device 42 is a wide expansion of reporting capabilities. The traditional classic reports have been rebranded as standard reports. In addition, there are new and improved ways to build these standard reports. The new standard reporting capability is within the Analytics menu. It is important to note that when navigating to the Analytics menu, you will be taken to a list of all the reports in your system. The traditional classic reports or previous classic reports will be denoted with a exclamation mark icon. It is important to note that these reports that were built as classic reports will continue to run and continue to run on any set schedule. However, these reports will be non-editable and should over time be converted to the new standard reporting framework. There are 4 new ways to build a standard report. What I'll be talking about in this video is the new way to build a standard report from Device 42 Object Query Language, or DoQL. To create a new standard report, you can click on the Add button, and this will take you to a new page where you can name your report and configure your report the way you want it to. One of the options for the new report is the DoQL, or Device 42 Object Query Language, the DoQL query. So I can name my report. Maybe I may want a job schedule report, so I can make that my report name. Now, the nice thing about new standard reporting is that you can have multiple tabs. If I wanted to add a tab, I could have more than one tab on this report, or I can even just name this tab as times of jobs. So this will create a report that is the times of all my scheduled jobs, and all I need to do is then utilize the Device 42 query language to produce this report. Now, while construction of the correct DoQL does require an understanding of the data model and some basic SQL-like skills, once it's set up, it can be delivered as a part of a tool chest of reports, or it can be automated for delivery on a schedule. So I've already created a nice set of DoQL to produce the list of jobs that are out there in my system and what days and times they are running. So I can enter the select statement in the query box and save my report. Once saved, this will do some basic checking to make sure that the query I entered makes sense and passes some basic structural integrity. And from here, I can now do things like display the report on the screen. This is going to go out and find me all the jobs, find me the days, whether they're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and what times they ran. So you see I actually have 6 jobs here that are going to run at 1 in the morning. So one of the nice things about these reports also, in addition to being multi-tab and very powerful because you're going directly against the model or the data model, is the ability to schedule these. So again, I can make this report so that it sends out every week. So I can enter a set of email. For example, I can send this to my boss at device42.com, and I can set this up to send them every week, and I want to make it look like I worked on this all weekend long. So I'll actually send it Monday morning at 7 in the morning. So every week, my boss at Device 42 will get this report of all the scheduled jobs for this week in their inbox by the time they come into work. Thank you.
Head to the Device 42 blog for more information on the other new feature enhancements in Release 18.13.00.